Alright, hello YouTube, and welcome to something completely different. So, as you guys might know, if you've been watching for a little bit, and there seems to be more people that are actually doing it now, so thank you everyone who has been, I make games as well as playing them. I say it sometimes at the end of my vids, of course. And I wanted to do a little bit of a quick video on what I've been making at the moment. So, as you again might have seen on the trailer, on the trailer, well, yes, you might have seen by the trailer, or you might have seen on the channel. I link it in every description, basically. There's a trailer for a game I made called Sel Mounta, which was an RPG, or still is, I should say. And what I have been working on is the sequel. So, welcome to the island of Sel Mounta. This is the second out of the 5 sort of main islands in the world that I've created. And I've been, again, working on the RPG adaptation for part 2, basically. It continues on directly after the original game's plot. Literally, you've quite literally started in the exact same location the party was stranded in at the end of the last game. Won't spoil too much about that, but yeah, and I've been working through it. We have several areas completed so far. We've got the sort of initial area, the frozen hill. We've got a couple of the initial areas. We've got the town of Canba, large sort of slightly labyrinthine town. We've got a certain pirate ship the party ended up having to try and board, and a swamps area that we've been that I've been recently working through, as well as the current area of development, the next part of the main city. Now, this game ideally would be intended for release this Christmas. It is taking me longer than the first one. You might, if you played the original one, realise why fairly quickly, because the graphics are actually my own for the most part. Either my own or converting across from the original, but trying to do it either neatly or sometimes even by hand for certain items, like the example, I believe the axe is on the table here. Or certainly the sledgehammers, I remember doing the art for those. So that's been what we've actually been doing as a company. And for all these areas that are here so far, they're kind of basically all in. Like each area also includes like the equipment that can be done found in each one. I've actually been setting up the equipment for the second area of shops. As of today, I've worked out what each one's going to be. I've been putting in flavor text for each one. It also says what they do. We're trying to keep up with the idea of having a lot of equipment. There's also armor, of course. There's items for each area. Skills. Lots of skills. All the ones from this point down are the ones I've created. As you can see, there's a few. Various enemy designs. There'll be some familiar faces. The pirates are making a bit of a return, but there'll also be some new foes, such as the ice crawler here. This big old mountainous fella. And yeah, there's this fella's name, though it's not actually him. Oh, that's going to be an interesting fight to do once I get to actually completing that one. It's a little bit my actual development order has been a bit meandering, and it's been a little bit slow the last week or so, last week and a half, I suppose, because of for those who've seen the Let's Plays I've been making at the time. I have come down with COVID. I've still got it. I'm not too bad at the moment, but definitely a bit stuffed up still, and not 100% by any means. Development's been a little bit slow, but we are still going. And yeah, so I said the ideal release date would have been Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to make that, because A, I've been doing a bit more work on all the areas, and B, just getting slowed down a bit. So it might be maybe somewhere in the middle of next year at a rough guess. Who knows? I'll keep you guys roughly posted, but I don't know myself. I can't say for certain. This area I've shown off now, by the way, is sort of the capital city. Another area that's not quite 100% complete, but is pretty good. I suppose another thing I could quickly talk about is perhaps some of the new mechanics. Oh, sorry, Sniffle. I don't want to become too stagnant in terms of the mechanics. It is a continuation of the first game. It is the same cast. Nearly. Although, you might notice. So, yeah, this will look familiar. We've got some new sprites for them. Vagel still doesn't have a mask after the first game. But Renee's joined the team this game. Yep, she'll be replacing she'll be replacing Lysandra for this one. But yes, as for actual new mechanics, apart from them, the new cast and the new classes, the classes have changed. Yeah, that little bit at the end isn't just a teaser. That's actually the classes you get to play for this one. So Medic, Guardian, Barbarian, Lancer, Null, and Chaos Mage, as opposed to, I believe it was All-Rounder, Thief, Destruction Mage, Healer, Warrior, and Monk. But yes, the actual new mechanics. First up, we have Red Wisps. As it says here, Red Wisps are monster lairs. So the idea in this game is no random encounters. There's no more random encounters on the map. But you will get these on-map encounters, these little green spars, which will which you might have to beat, for example, to get past an area, but you can activate them when you will. This was because, although no one brought it up, I did notice there was did anyone brought it up? There are a few encounters in Sel Mounta where you can kind of get jumped on a little bit by them and you don't know they're coming, and that can include bosses. So even boss encounters now will always have a large starter mark that there's a boss encounter about to happen. So you know when that's going to start. But the Red Wisps are lair encounters, monster lairs. So if you interact with a lair, you'll get a random battle out of the battles available in that area. Now, XP has also changed. You no longer get XP just from fighting, but you can still get loot off of the enemies by doing this, loot and gold, so there are reasons to do it. And there is also a boss equivalent, the Golden Wisp. Once you've beaten a boss of an area, a Gold Wisp will appear, and you can fight that to rematch the boss for the area. In fact, that should be called Gold Wisp, actually. The editor's changed a bit as well. That's been part of the other reason it's been a bit slow getting it all set up. It's because this is now running in MZ, as opposed to VX Ace. But yes, the way EXP works now is once you complete a certain milestone, we're going to the equivalent of a Tabletop Games milestone XP. So a milestone might, for example, be clear an area. Well, it is clear an area pretty much universally. Once you complete an area, you'll level up and you'll get you'll get some new skills, you'll get some stat raises, all that good level up stuff. But yes, so, and there'll also be a little bit more free roaming. Areas A4, which is a lot bigger than the other one, that's why it's only got one area in it, and A3, for example, you'll actually get the ability to explore these at the same time. There's planned to be, 9 areas, roughly? And the idea is that you'll be able to explore certain groups with them at the same time, because people mentioned it being more linear than expected. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's fair. It can be a bit linear. It was a bit linear. So, yeah. So it'll still be somewhat, and try to keep the balance tight. Or at least trying to keep it fairly tight. I think that was something that worked reasonably well in the previous game, was combat. But the idea is that you'll only be able to access, or you'll be able to access multiple areas at the same level. So you go, oh, I could go here and deal with this problem, or I could go here and deal with this one. It'll be a kind of similar formula in terms of how you're taking things on. Effectively, you are given a bunch of quests to do, but as said, you'll have a bit more free roam as to how you approach them. You might be like, oh, I'm really struggling with this area. Well, I could go and maybe gain some loot, rare loot from this area, or maybe finish another area that you find a bit easier, perhaps, and level up there, and then take on the harder one again. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working with. And of course, I said this is one of the towns for the areas. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but we're still early in development. Stuff is definitely subject to change. One thing that's going to be added, this is not in the game yet either, but it's going to be. Again, for the same reasons of, people... I can't remember if people pointed out this is missing or not, but at any rate, one of the things I plan to add is going to be subquests to this game as well. There'll be additional tasks that certain townsfolk will give you. And if you can complete those, you'll maybe gain some little extra bonus rewards. Again, that's the plan at any rate. This is all early, but yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little bit of an insight. It's a short video today, but again, I figure with COVID at the moment, this is probably for the best to not run too long. My brain has been going mushy trying to do recordings recently. Like, I'll get an episode done, I'll go do the next one, I'll just be like, what am I even doing? But yeah, so that's where we're at. As I said, the new one might be coming out late this year, probably more likely some point next year, but I'd like to try and get it done this year if I can. We'll try and push for it. And yes, the plot will be continuing. For anyone who played the first one, I greatly appreciate it. For anyone who hasn't, it's also a bit of an announcement. Sel Mounta will be in the summer sale. It has been entered. I cannot for the life of me remember what the discount is. I want to say somewhere between like about a third and a quarter. It might be more. I'm genuinely not sure, but it will be in the Steam summer sale, and that is coming up soon. So if you've maybe heard of it from the videos or looked at it from the videos but haven't checked it out, go take a look. Maybe wishlist it. If you're going to get it at all, the time to do so is coming up. But yes, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. There'll be a link to... I'll maybe update my links. I think the links were to the trailers. I'll maybe start trying to update them to link to the actual games themselves on Steam. There'll be a link in the description for both that and IORC, the first game I made. And yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.